So for day 5 notes, we have the surface area and volume of pyramids. In this case, we have slant height again. So that's here, the height of this triangle, represented with an L. Usually you see it more cursive, like that. And then we have the perimeter of the base, so it's nice if it's a square. If it's a rectangle, we can still figure out the perimeter of the base, add all the sides. And then the big B stands for area of the base again. So none of the variables are really anything new or different. It's pretty much the same stuff. So now, for finding the surface area of this pyramid, we need our slant height, which we are not given. So in this case, I would have to draw my slant height in. So this part right here represents the slant height, okay? But I went ahead and drew this part in down here to show a triangle has been formed, and it's a right triangle, which then is helpful. So half, right here, this distance is half this whole distance, which makes this part 8, because we know that 16 is the whole distance. Then, and we're already given the height of the pyramid to be 3. So to find our slant height, we need to do Pythagorean theorem. So down here, I'm going to go ahead and do 3 squared plus h squared equals L squared. And then if I calculate that, we get 9 plus 64 equals L squared. I'm going to add both of these together, and I get the square root of 73 equals L squared. As you can see, if I take the square root of that, it's going to give me a decimal, which is okay to do. So I would have 8.5. Since our directions do not have anything about radical form, I'm just going to put it 8.5. Leave it round to the nearest tenth. Now that I have slant height, I can go ahead and plug it in up here. So I've got lateral area, which the lateral area is all my triangles. Okay, the base is the rectangle or the square below at the bottom here. In this case, we've got a square. So 1/2 times the 8.5, and then the perimeter, since I see that these two sides are 16, all sides are 16, so I'm going to just do 16 times 4 to get my perimeter. If I multiply my 4 times 16, I get 64. And then if I multiply these two numbers, I get 544. And then if I take half of that, we get 272. Okay? So 272 represents the lateral area. And like all the other formulas we've done, this lateral area formula shows up in our surface area. So I will plug 272 in for this part. So instead of the 1/2 slant height times P, we'll just do 272. Now our area of the base would be side times side. So we would say 16 times 16. If I multiply that, we get 256. And we add, and our total is 528 feet squared. Okay, so that's my surface area. Then for my volume, we have 1/3 times the area of the base. But we found the area of the base over here, 16 times 16 was 256. So I'm just going to use that 256 here. And then the height of this pyramid was given to us as 3. Okay, so a couple things. We could just take 1/3 and cancel it with a 3. They cancel out, so your answer is 256. If you want to go the longer route, because it's not always going to cancel out, you could go ahead and multiply these two together and get the 768, and then divide by 3, and that would give you that 256 still. So that would be 256 feet to the 3rd power. And that's your volume.